Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a little work on, we've already got the hatches already cut out, and I did have to order some special tape, some filament tape. Got this handy dandy little metal steel kind of applicator, because what we're going to do is we're going to use this. I guess I could have used packing tape as well. Probably would have been cheaper because that was 20 bucks just for that. But we're going to take and marry these two together as best as we can today in our limited room. One of the things I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to flip this around. So we're going to have to open up the other end. And I think I might as well just take out the mower while I'm there. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to turn on some lights. So there's a couple things that we can probably do on here that would probably be better before we kind of got in here and started doing anything. One is blowing the dust out of these things. But I think even more important, there was a few things that we kind of, so there's some epoxy that we could take care of. We could come back in here and probably put another coat of epoxy in here. We need to bury this so we could come in, and I think that's probably what we'll end up doing. I think that'd probably be best all the way around. We could lay the top on this, but I think before we go any further, I do think that that's what we need to do, is just really take a good look at this, come back and epoxy anything that doesn't, get in here and just put another coat of epoxy on and smooth that out. I think that's going to be best all the way around. So we won't do that. But one of the things that we will do is let's go ahead and put the top on this, and let's just see how close it'll come. So this is somewhat interesting. Look back here. See how that's... I don't remember having that on anything, but I bet you when we fiberglass that, that's what kind of happened. And so what we'll end up doing is we'll tape all this together. I guess my next thing is to take a little bit of a comb and come in there and kind of patch that in. But other than that, we'll have to come in here and really start tweaking this. So it should be good. Some parts we'll have to pull out, other parts we'll push in. So I just thought of something. Those parts are up there. We're actually going to put epoxy and do some more work on those. So I actually think that we're okay on any of these areas, especially up in here, especially down at the other end. So we can go ahead and continue getting this taped down. We're going to do the best we can. I do think that we will cut a little piece back here after we've got this all taped down so that it's nice and tight. We may come back in here and blow this all off and sweep it all off, because it's actually not, there's so much dust on it that the tape is having a little difficult time adhering, which, you know, you'd think if there's dirt all over it. So the one thing that we can do is, you can see this tape is not, it's not holding the way that we would like it to. I'm going to also bring packing tape out that's pretty wide, and we will also use that as well. But we do have to do a lot of work, because it's popping up. I mean, that deck is under a lot of stress, but you would think it would be anyway, just because probably how we had the deck sitting. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to run up and get some bug spray, and then also some wider tape, and we'll come back out. So I thought I'd come out here and take a little look at this to see how well it was kind of staying. And you know, all the tape that I had purchased that got in, you know, I got this right here, as you can see this. I purchased all this tape because it was supposed to be pretty good, and it all popped up. Now, I probably need to kind of wipe down, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wipe down the hull itself, because maybe there's just dust on it and it's not getting the adhesion. It kind of looks that way. So I'm going to take and wipe that down a little bit, spray it with something. But then I've also brought in some kind of just some straps that I think I'm going to strap it down as well, kind of get that as tight as possible to help that. But we're going to do that right now. Let's see if we can get it a little bit tighter. So I think that's going to help in this process. As you can kind of see down through here, there's some gaps, but not too bad. As we get down into here, of course there are, but I've not really done anything. We'll end up, you know, getting this down, stretching this out. Take a look in here. I can't see too much in there, so we'll do the same thing. We'll take and get that taken care of as well. This is actually going pretty nice. I mean, it's holding on here pretty well. And I think, you know, with a little bit of work, we're going to be able to get that all sealed up. This will come down a whole lot tighter, and we can work to seal that up. And I'm not quite sure how we end up doing that, whether there's wood or whether it's just fiberglass up in there. I could do that, just put some coats of fiberglass in there, and that would set that down pretty well. I do think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run up and grab seat. I'd like to see what the seat looks like in here. But we'll be able to get this nice and tight. It is feeling good. It's feeling really nice. So that'll snug up really well, especially once you get that other, you get the two together and you epoxy on top of that. That's going to be good. So I'm going to run up and get the seat and we'll drop it in there just to see what it looks like. Be right back. So I brought the seat in. We'll just take a look. I think it really depends upon get in there and sit in there, but I think that's about where we'll end up putting that. That's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty nice seat in there, and then we'll have the foot pedals in there as well. But I like it. This is during the work week, so I just took a real quick break out here. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back up, and we can come out tonight and still continue to get this lashed down, getting ready for us to take and do our work this weekend. One of the things we may do is once this one is finished, we may throw it up on the rack up there and bring down the other one, so that on Saturday, if we've got good weather, we'll just take and do them both, or maybe do one. It just depends, but we'll end up getting those taken care of when the weekend comes in. I always like my wife's reaction. We actually share an Amazon account. We just have one Prime account, and so she'll get these notices of what it is that I'm ordering. And I think this is one of these that she said, I don't know what this is, but whatever. So I was able to order some disposable just jumpsuits that I'll be using to fiberglass the inside of these, since I'm going to be getting inside kind of working this. So that's what I got 2 of these for. So we'll be able to use those on the weekend. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue strapping this down, and let's see if we can get it all the way put back together so that we can be ready on this weekend, at least for one of them, but we're going to try to get actually, despite the room in here and I'm having to struggle to get around, I'm actually finding these straps are working so much better than this tape. So I have a few more, and I'm gonna do like one in here and then one in this midsection right in here, because it's gapping a little bit there. So there's 2 places that's gapping, but other than that, it is really tight. I mean, it's really come down really nice. So I'm going to strap these other points, and then I'm going to go get some other straps so that, a little later I can do the other one. So this is actually really good. We have got this down on there very tightly. There's a few places in here that we may want to come back and do a little work on. Maybe get one more strap. I do have one more strap right here. It would actually be really good to strap that as well, just so that we know that's nice and tight in that whole area. Although, if you look at it, I mean, it's almost spot on, but anything that will help be a little better. So I'm going to finish that one up, and then I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and pick up probably another, I don't know, an 8-pack or something like that. It's not going to be very expensive. So let me finish those and I'll get back, and at one point we'll swap out these boats. Well, I got back here, got the second one down, and we're going to start strapping that down. I did take a bunch of tape off of that because that tape, in my opinion, was worthless. The one thing that I am doing is making sure that we get something underneath this wood so it doesn't hurt what's underneath. So we're going to continue putting these straps on. So now we got the second one done. It's laying down good. I don't have as big a gap here. And I think it has to do with, because I actually tried to get it so that it was flush on each side. And so there was a bow there. But we'll get that taken care of. I don't want to flatten that out because I think I'd have a little bit of problem with flattening that out. Probably break some things. But as you could probably kind of tell, that as we were getting this to fit, this was starting to bow up, which, you know, what we'll end up doing is we'll fill that gap in anyway. So it's looking really good. I'm comfortable with it. There's some little overhang on some areas, but we'll get that taken care of. This one probably weighs a lot more than the other. It's now at a stage where you can't, I mean, if I picked it up in the middle, I would probably be fine, but I can't just lift it by myself. It's more awkward now. So definitely when we get some other pieces in, it's going to be more and more awkward. And I may have to weigh these because they may weigh a little bit more than, I don't know. It still may be 40 pounds with everything in it. But, you know, we still have to fiberglass some more. This right here has really come in a lot, so we're probably going to have to do a little work on that to make sure that that's out. Not quite sure how to do that yet, but It's almost as though we need to put something on the inside to push it out. But, you know, maybe I'll do that with a 2x2 and kind of wedge it in there. That'll kind of help. But that'll be it. We are finished for the day. Really finished until this weekend when we start to put these things together and actually put the fillet in, and then also, excuse me, and then fiberglass the insides of those. That's going to be it until Saturday. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the thumbs up if I'm probably going to choke to death here. Hit the thumbs up if you like the content, and make sure you turn on your post notifications to catch all the episodes of the Bucket List. Thanks a lot, and we will catch you on the flip side.